Welcome back. Today we'll be exploring the values, history, and unique features of 10 different Abraham Lincoln Wheat pennies. Some of these coins are surprisingly valuable in today's auction market, even in circulated or dirty condition. Let's get started. First up, we have the 1944 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with the S mint mark. Now, let's break down why this coin is so interesting and what it might be worth in today's market. The year 1944 was significant as the world was coming closer to the end of World War II. During the war, the United States made efforts to conserve copper for the war effort, which led to the production of the famous steel pennies in 1943. But by 1944, copper was brought back into penny production, and the Lincoln Wheat penny resumed its iconic look and feel, familiar to Americans. The copper return to circulation symbolized resilience and post-war optimism, something the American public cherished. The 1944 penny design is iconic, with Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design was first introduced in 1909 and remains a classic symbol of American numismatics. The reverse features two wheat stalks, giving the penny its wheat moniker. The S mint mark below the date tells us this particular coin was minted in San Francisco. Collectors love these design features not only for their historical value, but also for their visual appeal. In 1944, the San Francisco Mint produced over 282 million pennies with the S mint mark. While this high mintage makes the coin relatively common, finding it in a distinct red color with a dirty condition is somewhat rare, especially as time passes and the number of well-preserved specimens dwindles. This coin is particularly popular among collectors due to its post-war release, and those in good condition or with notable features can demand premium prices. Now, let's talk about what you might expect to get for a 1944 S mint Lincoln Wheat penny in today's auction market. Generally, circulated coins in dirty condition might fetch around $86,000 depending on their exact look and buyer interest. However, if you find this coin in an uncirculated or nearly pristine condition, it could sell for as high as $89,735 at auction. High-grade versions are especially valuable to collectors seeking to complete a perfect wheat penny set. An interesting thing to watch out for with the 1944 S mint penny is any doubling in the text, particularly the "In God We Trust" motto, or "In Lincoln's Face." Known as double die errors, these mistakes can multiply a coin's value, sometimes even fetching thousands of dollars. If you have a 1944 S penny, look carefully under a magnifying glass for such features. Next up, we have the 1942 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with a D mint mark in a unique red shade and a well-worn, dirty condition. 1942 was a pivotal year in American history. The country had just entered World War II, and every industry, including the mint, was preparing for wartime production changes. The penny remained in copper that year, though the mint was already researching how to save metals for war efforts. Coins from this era remind us of America's resilience and the sacrifices made on the home front to support the troops. Just like the other pennies in the Lincoln Wheat series, this 1942 penny features Abraham Lincoln's bust on the obverse side and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. The D mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver, which makes this penny slightly rarer compared to its counterparts from Philadelphia. The red tone of the coin, even in a dirty condition, adds a unique touch, as the oxidation of copper sometimes brings out striking color variations. The Denver Mint produced over 206 million pennies in 1942, which makes it a moderately common coin. However, finding it in a naturally red shade while still maintaining a dirty, well-circulated appearance can make this piece quite appealing for niche collectors. In terms of value, a circulated 1942 D penny in dirty condition generally ranges between $48,000 depending on specific wear and color. However, if it has strong red toning or attractive dirty patina, collectors could pay up to $46,400 or more. On the higher end, an uncirculated version with brilliant red coloring could fetch as much as $49,356. One notable error to look out for is the D over D mint mark error, where the D appears to be stamped twice. These errors occurred when the mint mark was re-punched, and they're highly valued by collectors who may pay upwards of $50,000 for a well-preserved example. Checking for such errors is definitely worth the time if you have a 1942 D penny. Next up, we have the 1952 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with a D mint mark, showing years of wear and a lovely dirty patina. By 1952, America was in the post-WWII boom, and life was returning to a new normal. The economy was thriving, and penny production was robust as coins circulated through a growing economy. Pennies from this year symbolized the prosperity and hope of the 1950s. Again, this penny carries Victor David Brenner's iconic design, with the D mint mark showing it was produced at the Denver Mint. The details of Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks, even in worn condition, make it an appealing find for anyone building a set of circulated wheat pennies. Over 746 million pennies were minted in Denver in 1952, making it one of the more common years for Lincoln wheat pennies. However, collectors still prize these coins, especially those with unique aging or coloration. In today's market, a dirty 1952 D penny might sell for around $26,500, though coins with unusual wear patterns can occasionally reach up to $26,000. Uncirculated or bright red versions, however, can demand much more, from $29,000 to even $30,000 depending on quality. There are fewer notable errors for this coin, though some have reported minor die cracks or weak strikes. These small imperfections add character but do not drastically increase the coin's value. Next up is the 1953 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny with the D mint mark in circulated condition. While this penny might seem ordinary, it actually has a fascinating story and some surprising value points. The year 1953 was part of the post-war era known as the golden age of the American economy. The nation was booming, with new infrastructure, suburban development, and a strong currency. Pennies from this year circulated widely, serving an important role in the economic life of the country. The 1953 penny was produced in high numbers to keep up with the growing demand for small change as the U.S. expanded both economically and geographically. Like other wheat pennies, the 1953 D penny carries Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse side, with Brenner's initials VDB subtly placed at the lower edge of Lincoln's shoulder. The wheat stalks on the reverse remind us of a simpler, agricultural America, even as the country transitioned into an urban powerhouse. The Denver Mint mark, indicated by a D just below the date, signifies its place of origin. In 1953, the Denver Mint struck over 700 million wheat pennies, making it one of the most common pennies of that decade. However, many of these coins were lost to circulation over time or melted down, which has increased the collector value of well-preserved circulated coins from this year. Finding a circulated example in decent condition is still common, but pieces in higher grades are much harder to come by. In circulated condition, the 1953 D penny is valued modestly, generally ranging from $15,000 in today's auction market. However, high-grade examples, even in circulated condition, can reach up to $25,000, depending on the level of detail remaining on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks. Uncirculated versions, or those with unique toning, could be valued even higher, reaching up to $23,000. One popular error to look out for is the BI error. This is a die break that appears between the letters B and E in the word liberty, giving the appearance of an extra letter. These errors are small but noticeable and are cherished by collectors. B errors can increase the coin's value by $20,000 depending on visibility and coin condition. Collectors are drawn to these coins not only for their nostalgia but also because errors add an element of uniqueness to an otherwise common coin. Next up, the 1941 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark. This coin holds a special place in history as it was minted just before the United States entered World War II. Let's dive into the story of this fascinating coin. 1941 was a significant year as the United States stood on the brink of entering World War II following the attack on Pearl Harbor in December. While America was not yet involved in the conflict, the economy was shifting toward wartime production, and coins from this period reflect a time of anticipation and rapid change. The 1941 penny represents the last full year before America's direct involvement in the war, making it an iconic piece of pre-war history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the 1941 penny features Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse, with the words "In God We Trust" arching above his head. On the reverse, the two wheat stalks frame the denomination 1 cent with the words "United States of America" just below. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this coin was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Coins without mint marks from this era were generally minted in higher numbers, and Philadelphia served as the main production site. In 1941, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 887 million Lincoln wheat pennies, making it one of the most abundant years for wheat pennies. While this high mintage means the coin is not rare, finding a well-preserved piece in very fine or higher condition increases its appeal. Coins from this mintage year are often seen in circulated or worn conditions, so finding one with clear details on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks can attract collectors. Now, let's talk value. In very fine condition, a 1941 Philadelphia wheat penny can sell for around $215,000, depending on wear and appeal. In extremely fine condition, this can increase to $225,000 or more. While it may not fetch high prices compared to scarcer pennies, its historical context makes it a staple for collectors, especially those building a complete set of Lincoln wheat pennies. Common errors for the 1941 penny include doubled die varieties, which are particularly noticeable in the motto "In God We Trust" or on Lincoln's profile. These errors are rare, but if you find a double die example, it could be worth significantly more, sometimes up to $235,000 in higher grades. Collectors are very interested in errors from this period, as wartime production demands sometimes led to unique, misaligned dies or unusual strikes. Next up, the year 1918 was an eventful time in American history, as World War I was coming to an end. This penny was minted during a period of patriotism, social change, and industrial growth. The coin we're looking at, the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny, was widely circulated in a post-war America where currency was in high demand due to economic recovery and urban expansion. This coin symbolizes resilience, a piece of history that's passed through generations of Americans. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny features the iconic design by Victor D. Brenner. On the obverse side, we have Abraham Lincoln's profile, symbolizing American unity and resilience. This was a revolutionary design back in 1909, marking the first time a U.S. president was depicted on a coin. Brenner's initials VDB were initially placed on the reverse but later removed due to public reaction. The reverse side displays two wheat stalks surrounding the denomination, 1 cent, and the phrase e pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. The wheat stalks represent the American agricultural backbone, a fitting choice given the reliance on farming during that time. This imagery made the coin iconic and gives it a special place in numismatic history. In 1918, over 288 million Lincoln wheat pennies were minted at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark. This high production volume makes it a relatively common coin, however. Finding one in good condition after over a century is becoming increasingly rare. Many of these coins have been worn down by time, which is why even damaged pieces are still valuable for collectors. Now, let's talk about its value. In dirty and damaged condition, a 1918 penny may seem unimpressive, but it still holds collectible value. Typically, lower-grade coins in this condition are valued between $123,000 at auction. However, there are factors that could elevate this price. Coins with historical context, significant wear patterns, or even certain types of patina natural aging that collectors find attractive can draw higher bids. A particularly unique coin from 1918 with some sort of error could command as much as $135,000 or more in certain collector circles. Errors play a major role in boosting the value of a coin, and the 1918 penny is no exception. Errors to look for include the doubled die obverse, where the text and image appear doubled due to a minting mishap. Coins with visible die cracks or off-center strikes are also in demand. For collectors, even a heavily worn 1918 penny with an interesting error or rarity factor could make it a highly sought-after piece. The story behind these coins and their condition make them compelling additions to any collection. Next up, the 1935 Lincoln wheat penny comes from a challenging time in U.S. history, the Great Depression. Millions of Americans were struggling financially, and coins from this era hold special significance because they were widely circulated during a time of great need. The 1935 penny is a small piece of history, representing a nation attempting to rebuild and find stability. This penny features the same Lincoln profile on the obverse and the wheat ears on the reverse that were introduced in 1909. The design hadn't changed significantly by 1935, which added to its nostalgic appeal for Americans. The familiar Lincoln portrait served as a reminder of unity and hope during the Depression, and the wheat ears symbolized America's agricultural strength. With over 245 million coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1935 penny is relatively common. While high mintage coins often result in lower value, even circulated coins in fair condition hold a certain charm for collectors. Many circulated 1935 pennies show heavy signs of wear, but they still capture the essence of Depression-era America. In circulated condition, a 1935 penny typically holds a value between $55,000. However, this range can vary widely based on condition, rarity, and any unique features of the individual coin. Coins with mild circulation wear but minimal damage can bring in higher prices, sometimes reaching $56,000 or more in auctions if they have interesting attributes. Collectors particularly enjoy seeking out error coins from this period. Lamination errors, where the coin's surface appears split or peeling, and cud errors where portions of the coin show raised areas due to damaged dies, are particularly popular. Even in circulated condition, a 1935 penny with a visible error or an interesting patina can command significantly higher values at auction. Next up, the 1947 penny hails from the post-World War II era, a time of American optimism and economic growth. With soldiers returning home and families rebuilding, the nation was entering a prosperous period. Coins like the 1947 penny reflect the optimism of this time and circulated widely as consumer culture began to expand. By 1947, the Lincoln Wheat penny's design was already an American classic. The obverse features Lincoln's profile, and the reverse showcases the two wheat stalks. Collectors appreciate this classic look, which remained unchanged until the Wheat penny series ended in 1958. In 1947, more than 190 million pennies were minted at the Denver Mint, marked by a D on the coin. Though plentiful, these coins are still appreciated for their historical value and connection to post-war America. In dirty condition, a 1947 D penny's value is typically modest, ranging from $66,000. However, if a coin exhibits a particularly attractive or unique wear pattern or patina, it could fetch a higher price. Occasionally, coins with minimal dirt or signs of natural oxidation that collectors find aesthetically pleasing might go for more than expected. The 1947 D penny is known for some interesting error types. Die cracks, repunched mint marks where the D is struck multiple times, and off-center strikes are all possibilities that collectors actively seek out. These error coins make a dirty or worn coin potentially worth significantly more, attracting attention from error collectors. Next up, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during a period of continued post-war growth and prosperity in the United States. This era was marked by a booming economy, suburban expansion, and the rise of consumer culture. Coins like the 1949 penny circulated widely as people settled into new lifestyles and built communities. The 1949 penny features the beloved design of Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat ears on the reverse. This design had become an American classic, representing strength and unity. The S mint mark indicates that this particular coin was minted in San Francisco, adding a level of interest for collectors who enjoy building sets from various mint locations. Approximately 64 million pennies were minted in San Francisco in 1949, which makes the S mint mark more desirable than the higher mintage Philadelphia pennies. Despite the high circulation, finding one in good condition can be challenging due to natural wear over time. A circulated 1949 S penny is valued between $298,000 depending on its overall condition and appeal. In circulated condition, these coins are common, yet they can still attract buyers if they have particularly good eye appeal or a unique feature that distinguishes them. Collectors are particularly interested in error varieties from this period. Look for RPM or repunched mint mark errors on the S, as well as any die cracks or misalignments. Coins that exhibit these kinds of features, even in circulated condition, can demand premium prices at auctions, sometimes as high as $323,500 or more. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, keep an eye out for these coins, especially if they show signs of errors or distinct wear that adds to their story. If you enjoyed learning about these coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon to stay updated on all our upcoming videos. Let us know in the comments which coin intrigued you the most and if you found any similar treasures in your collection. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting!